Recently, I was sorting through old files, and I came across a letter from the rector of a church thanking me for my annual pledge. It made me smile. The amount of the pledge was fairly small. I think it may have been the first time I made a pledge. Since childhood, I'd always put money in the collection plate, but making a pledge was a big step, something adults do. I vaguely remember being nervous about determining how much I could afford and making that commitment. Since then, I've expanded my involvement with and knowledge of the practical workings of the church through various vestry experiences. And I've learned the importance of the church budget process and the role that annual pledges play in helping the vestry to budget wisely. I've learned that the amount of the pledge isn't even as important as the act of pledging. I've also matured in my faith and have found that in addition to the financial responsibility that I believe I have as a member of the church, I pledge out of gratitude and thanksgiving for the many blessings I've received from God and the blessing that this church family has been in my life. I'm deeply grateful to God for this life, and contributing to the funding of the church is one way I can show that gratitude. Words are inadequate to describe the role that this church family has played in my life. Thinking about the most important events of your life and the role the church played, my memories include wonderful childhood experiences in a charming white Episcopal church in Washington State, singing in the choir, participating in junior altar guild with my grandmother, flowering the cross each spring with our mite boxes, and standing proudly with my confirmation class, all the girls in new white dresses. My memories include the Easter Eve baptism of my daughter, weddings, and funerals. Through these times, I've been surrounded by the safety net of church family who have prayed with me, celebrated with me, and grieved with me. People I would never have known except through the church, and whose caring and support has been worth more than any financial pledge I could ever make. My memories also include experiences and opportunities that have been gifts I don't believe I ever would have received had it not been for St. Mark's. Experiences where I've encountered the Holy Spirit and that have helped to shape who I am and what I believe. They include service on the vestry, participation on a rector search committee, serving dinners at St. John's Town Street, participating in street church, the opportunity to travel to the Guatemala mission, and amazing choir trips to the Washington National Cathedral, St. Thomas in New York City, and the recent choir residency in England. For me, making a pledge is partly in thanksgiving for these experiences and memories. Yes, it's part of my personal annual budget process, but it's different from my annual pledge to United Way, or to WOSU, or my college or law school. Pledging as part of the church's stewardship program has become a significant part of my emotional, psychological, and spiritual connection to the church. I actually now consider it a privilege. So when I sit down to contemplate my annual pledge, I first consider the financial needs of the parish and the worthy programs that need to be funded. I also reflect on the journey my life has taken over the past year and the many blessings I've received from God and the ways St. Mark's has touched my life. And since my father's death, I've been increasingly mindful and appreciative of the wonderful and varied gifts of time, talent, and treasure made by past generations at St. Mark's, who provided so much of what we enjoy and sometimes take for granted in our church today, not the least of which is this wonderful worship space. As the years go by, I feel an increasing responsibility to pay forward for those who will come after me to preserve and grow what we have here. A Bible verse that has been in my head a lot recently, for a variety of reasons, is the passage in Matthew 6 on treasures in heaven. It reads, "Do not store up for yourselves treasures on earth, where moth and rust destroy and thieves break in and steal. But store up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where moth and rust do not destroy, and where thieves do not break in and steal. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also." May the Lord give each of our hearts guidance during this stewardship season.